job transitioning your preparedness so well. My co-host Lauren is preparing for a surprise later in the show. But just in case you don't feel too lonely up here, please welcome the much-loved Keri Gallegher to the stage. So now it's time for the trips category. Do you remember that trip to the Blue Sacks? There was more rain, muck, wind and fatigue than you could imagine. Speaking of which, how many times did you get stuck in the mud, Keri?
Let's just say a lot.
Well, I suppose we did walk 25 kilometres.
Oh, and do you remember all those jigs and reels at the Gale Top?
I sure do.
Here to give us a taste of TY Trips 09 is TY3's very own Catherine Daly and Eoghan Shanley.
Trips category.
I know, we've had so many varied and exciting trips this year.
During our year, we were very fortunate to experience a wide range of wonderful outings.
It is with great pleasure that we present you with the nominations for the Oscar in the Trips category.
The trip to Psycho Spaghetti, a play dealing with the ups and downs of teenage life. We can all relate to that.
The trip to the Ideal Home exhibition in Dublin.
The trips to many public speaking and debating competitions.
Our TYs had a very successful year in public speaking and debating. They won numerous heats in public speaking on the topics of mental health, Forum of Europe, and debating such topics as nuclear power and child labour.
Our first trip away together was Delphi. Trip, where numerous friendships were formed. We took part in many exciting adventure sports, such as snorkeling, climbing and surfing.
The next nomination is Germany. The link with our German friends in Bremen was continued this year, when some of our TYs travelled to Bremen with Mr. Darby and Mr. Finnegan on our school exchange. The German students returned to the cover of Ballyshannon in March. I now welcome two of our exchange students, Keri and Lana, to tell you a little of their encounter.
We started our trip all six of us scared, not sure what to expect or how Germans were reared.
We met our families when we landed our flight and went to their house where we stayed for the night.
We woke that morning all set for school. The kids ran around like they obeyed no rule.
That day was a special day for one. Martin turned 16. 'Twas time for some fun.
We had a big party and boy did it rock. The Germans sat staring at us in shock.
Next day we headed to the zoo where we saw monkeys, seals and polar bears too.
Later that night Martin felt like a change. Nicole dyed his hair blonde. Darby looked at him strange.
Early next morning the train we caught, but Keri and Grania we had forgot.
Ice skating was a day we all enjoyed. Some fell more than others and got quite annoyed.
It was our last night, and although we were sad, we couldn't wait to get home where it was snowing like mad.
It was finally time for us to get in the plane. We couldn't wait to get home. Darby drove us insane.
If it wasn't for Pat, our trip would have been dry, so we'd like to say thank you, good night and bye-bye.
Our next nomination is Italy. This was a 5-day excursion abroad. It really was one of the highlights of the year. We visited Rome, Pompeii, Capri, and guess what, Mr. McCarthy? The tour guide wanted to hire us all because of our knowledge of Pompeii. Classical studies really stood to us here. Rory and Ben, please join Eoghan on stage and tell us more.
This is a little song I wrote on a trip to Italy. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
Shops with Gucci shoes, that's the story.
Colosseum was grand, filled with a lot of sand, that's the story.
The coke cost a lot, the shopkeeper should be shot, but that's too gory. On the way to Capri, someone puked on Rory, that was a
in Capri made us feel real happy, that's the story.
And the drop at the top of the hills in Capri were quite scary. Sorrento, it was mad, and the teachers danced bad at the disco.
Early on the last day we passed through customs, okay, except for Tommy.
Shame there wasn't more, so yes, that's our story.
The next nomination in this category is the Gaeltacht. Miss Nuriel planned an exciting trip to Annagry. Megan will tell us more off Gaeilge.
Jeev, who martyrs go Gian Gaeltacht he Coláiste na Rossan in Annagry imi Marta. Baie Ingen Nuriel a dagri gat rod dún. Via Marek Shul go more leis agus orin Gaeilge a olam fá trí lá omlan. Vi agla orin go leir. Vi am Munchar Kira ag Becach agus a garin so vi orin irat a yenov. Vi agla gat dinne, sa Coláiste, dúlamid aran, rinneid scanning, céim le dausa agus bhil cálíní an Ursulain, Misha, Ben, Rory, Kira agus Liam san obstacle course. Hua mar amach go ara mór agus siamid an ilin ar fad. Ani hajarnach fi disco agin turish an trot na gesh. Bhui muid a china nuller. Fi am intuk moi agin agus dúlamid písa Gaeilge freshen, gur míle moipacha.
As part of our Gashgo Award, we were required to complete an overnight camping trip where we had to walk 25 kilometres. Mr. Doherty and Mr. McGling took us to the exciting Dramard Centre in the Blue Stacks. Now, we have a short sketch written and directed by Anne-Marie Reading telling us about the Gashga trip.